Wanawashikanga wanawaambia tunaponya hadi HIV, tunakuombea inaisha. Sawa sawa. Huyo mwanadada anaekelea mkono, anaanguka chini, anafunikwa na leso, then anaambiwa go to the hospital and do the testing. Sawa sawa. Sasa kuna daktari hapa alianzia na huyu patient maybe 10 years ago, amekuwa akimpea ARVs, zimerespond vizuri. The viral load imeenda chini kabisa, ilitoka below 200 ikaenda mpaka undetectable. Unaweza pimwa ikue undetectable. Now when you are that if you reach that level of undetectable, you are just like a normal person. Ni ile tu HIV imefinyiliwa mahali kwa kona, hata kujipindua ni ngumu. And then your body unajua sasa the way your body works is very funny. Itaona ni kama hiyo ugonjwa hakuna. Then what your body do, it will stop producing the antibodies against the HIV.
Is sex the only way you can get HIV?
No, sex is just one way. You can maybe transfer it to your newborn if you are not careful during your delivery. Even sharing maybe needles for those people when you want to tumia drugs.
Yeah. Welcome to the first episode of our show, and I'm excited to ask our guest to introduce himself.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. I am Peter Miano Mureithi. I'm a medical laboratory technologist by profession. I'm based at Sagana, working at Fortress Medical Center for the last 4 years. So I'm privileged to have you today.
Thank you.
I'm happy that we met through TikTok and Instagram. And here we are to give information to people and try and educate people. Yeah.
Okay. So I think we can just dive right to the first topic of the day, which is now HIV and AIDS.
Yeah.
So if you can define the two and differentiate them.
Yeah. So I will start with the HIV. HIV itself is in full, it's human immunodeficiency virus. This is a virus which you construct after having unprotected sex with an infected person, and it interferes with your immune system and therefore compromising on your immunity, hence giving room for pathogenic infection and resulting now to AIDS. Yeah. So AIDS now is as a result of HIV and HIV infection.
Yeah. So is sex the only way you can get HIV?
No, sex is just one way. You can maybe transfer it to your newborn if you are not careful during your delivery. Even sharing maybe needles for those people when you want to tumia drugs. Nisikia wengine kama moja amejidunga sahi na dawa maybe imeisha. They usually do blood from one person and inject it to another one. Hence exposing them much on to infection.
So because we are speaking about the importance of testing before marriage.
Yeah.
What's the importance?
So the importance of testing before marriage is to know your partner well first, also to know the status of your partner. Just in case you are negative, you just know the way to protect yourself from constructing the virus later in life. Maybe remain faithful to each other, and just in case one of the partner is positive, also your doctor maybe will be able to guide you from the one go on ways to protect you from infecting your partner. And also because this is a lifetime disease, you have it maybe or you are alive, depending on the research. Maybe a drug can come and it can start curing HIV. So if one partner is positive, another one is negative, those one are called discordant couple. So it is important to test so that the one who is positive can be put into ART therapy, and the one which is negative can start the PrEP. Yeah.
So if you're found both of you are negative, you proceed,
Yeah.
Then both of you are found positive. And is this the point where we start the discussion about the CD4 count, and what are those?
So if both of you are positive and even for the discordant couple, remember the other partner who is positive, here is where we talk about the CD4 and the viral load. Remember the HIV, how it establishes itself in the human body, it affects the CD4 cells and maybe corrupts the mechanism of the cell and uses the cell nucleic acid to produce its own many like millions of the viruses.
Yeah.
So you find out when you don't take your ARVs or you don't take them well, your virus is not well suppressed, hence they interfere so much on your CD4, hence your CD4 cells count go down, and your viral load tend to go up. So this one is on vice versa. If you have more CD4, then better. It means you are responding well to drugs and maybe you are taking a good diet and you are suppressing the virus well. But for the viral load, remember this is calculating the amount of virus in your body. Maybe 1, 2, 3. They count in millimeters, cubic millimeters of blood. So if you have below 200 or below 20 copies, it means you have suppressed your virus and even passing it on to your partner or other people, that case is minimal. Although there is still that chance, that gap is still there. So you cannot just go and letting yourself being exposed saying the person is has suppressed the virus. Now the other people's maybe the first line treatment has failed and maybe the doctor have not noticed it. So the virus is not responding to the drugs. So what will happen? The virus inapanda inakuwa mingi, inakuwa maybe 10,000 copies, 50,000, 100 copies. Na ukisikia mtu akona 100 copies, huyo ni mtu ako critical sana, kwa sababu as I said earlier, opportunistic infection sasa zimeingia. Mtu akona ile ina cause mambo ya kuendesha sana, si ndio? Anaweza pia pata meningitis as an opportunistic infection and even kukohoa ndio unasikia ngo anakohoanga pia kahoma inamweka chini, kwa sababu when the viral load is high and the CD4 is low, it means the immunity is also low. Very low. Yeah. Hence the body is not able to fight against the infections. Yeah.
Then easy dawa zenye wanapewa, because we have ARVs. Like what are the types of ARVs? Because we're talking about ARVs. The next we're talking about PrEP. What are these?
Okay. Basically these drugs, all of them, the PrEPs or the ARVs or the PrEP, these are antiviral drugs. They act against specifically HIV virus and also they act against other viral infection like the hepatitis. You find out when a person has a hepatitis infection, sometimes they are given an anti-ARV. Let's call it
for
ARV.
Hepatitis?
Yes, hepatitis.
Oh, you get
you don't know. You just go to hospital, you are diagnosed with hepatitis, and doctor will tell you you can take these drugs, but initially they are used for ARVs. There is one called TDF3TC. For hepatitis, but not all. You cannot go taking any ARV to treat hepatitis, a specific one.
So let's start. Kuna ARV, the one that you'll get when you're diagnosed with HIV. So it's to increase it's to help suppress the virus
suppress your virus.
Increase your CD4.
Once you suppress your virus, there is another interfering with your CD4. So your body will naturally produce more CD4 cells and you'll be good to go. But you now still have to continuously take. Yes.
Then we have which is the one that you pre-exposure
prophylaxis. Now that one is ile inatumia sana pia na sexual workers. Pre-exposure prophylaxis, that is the full name of PrEP. As the name suggests, you are supposed to take before you expose yourself. So for the discontent couples, they are given PrEP to be taken while the other partner is taking the actual ARVs. So the partner who is negative, he or she is trying to protect himself from getting the virus. The PrEP, the actual PrEP used is the TDF3TC. That's the name of the PrEP. And also for the commercial sex workers, they tend to go for that drug, to take in case they get maybe a condom burst or they are raped. You know, they pass through a lot. They are already covered themselves. Yeah.
So if I'm negative and my partner is positive, so every morning akiamka kunywa ARV, na mimi sasa I have to take my PrEP.
Yes, munakumbushana na munakuwa friendly.
Na sasa I can never stop taking those as long as I'm with my spouse.
No, you cannot. You cannot stop because you know, this one is two-way. Your partner is protecting yourself by taking the drugs, the ARVs, well, suppressing the virus, and so when the virus is suppressed, it is believed that even infecting another person, it is very minimal. So your partner have played his or her part. Now you have to play your part now. In case he infects you, what do? You have the PrEP to handle the matter. Yeah. And
so it means we can have unprotected sex as long as both of us are taking those medications.
Yes, when you are on PrEP and your partner is on the ARV, you just involve in unprotected sex. Also, when you want to get kids, you know, you don't have to use protection when you want kids. You'll be good to go.
And then we are discordant.
Yeah.
I'm pregnant. At what point do we start protecting the baby from infection? Or when I'm carrying the baby to term, it will be protected? And
now the first thing, when if the woman is the one who is positive, let's say the mother of the baby is the one who is positive, now when she goes for the ANC clinic, first thing they check is the viral load and the CD4 to ensure she has suppressed the virus, so that the chances of passing to the child maybe during delivery, it's minimal. And also after delivery, when the child is delivered, they take a sample, do a PCR to confirm that the baby is not infected, and then the baby can start a drug called nevirapine. Nevirapine now defends the baby against infection, the HIV infection.
It's when they're given that, when they're found negative. And then does that allow me to breastfeed the child?
Yes, that is why you see maybe in the past, the mothers were told not to breastfeed their child, na kulikuwa na stigma sana, maybe mtu pia anashindwa hata kuwezaje kunyonyesha mtoto wake, anaenda kumnyonyesha na anapitisha hiyo infection. But sasa with the nevirapine and the mother taking the drugs well, the nevirapine can cover the child, and also the mother can help to defend the child by taking the ARV well, and also giving it the nevirapine to the child.
So hii dawa mtoto atakunywa mpaka how long?
Nevirapine they take up to 18 months. Up to 18 months, and then when they stop taking, you stop breastfeeding completely. Not a single day will you be tempted to maybe breastfeed your child. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, then we had the PrEP, now we have the PEP.
Yeah.
PEP is post-exposure.
Post, yeah.
How do you take it, or how is it prescribed?
So for PEP, first you start with the condition in which you can be given PEP. Maybe when there is a rape case, if you are raped, or for men if you are sodomized, things like that by people you don't know. Maybe the others who try to protect themselves by using a condom, and they can have a condom burst. So such people, and maybe your partner, you tell him or her, can you go for testing, then maybe anakata. So it is not good to take chances. You just go to the hospital, ukielezea story yako before 3 days. So if you have exposed yourself sahi, you are supposed to go as early as possible. Usingoje sijui kesho ama siku 3 ama nini, mapema ndio best. So unaenda mapema, unapewa, usimaliza 72 hours, then you start taking the drugs for 28 days. Then after finishing the drugs, of course, you do a rapid HIV test. After the 28 days, you wait for 1 month, then 3 months. If you turn negative, you are okay. And these things are not 100%, they can backfire. Unaweza kunywa 28 days na ukipima. And also there is a protocol. Before you give the PEP, you must be tested first. Unapimwa ndio uonekane kama uko mgonjwa ama hauko mgonjwa. Because if you turn positive, it means sasa hii ulikuwa hata umepata kitambo sio ya sahi. Then you, of course, you just start ARVs.
So now I've taken the PEP for 28 days.
Yeah.
can I pima immediately? Am I have to wait for some time on the 28th day or the 29th? Can you take a test? Ama you'll have to wait like for 7 days or a number of days before you take a test? The first test.
Well, the first test is done after you finish with the PEP.
Immediately.
You can do immediately because you have to go for review. Tutaona daktari nimemaliza dawa na iko namna hii. Maybe umweleze maybe umekuwa na tu side effects kidogo, kama uko na swali uulize. Then at that point unafaa kufanya testing. Alafu tena utarudi tena after 3 months. Yeah.
So generally, hizi dawa zote, even the one the discordant couples that are taking the drugs, kuna side effects?
Just like any other drugs, the ARVs generally have their side effects, and maybe I can talk them in general, because all of them are antiviral drugs, right? So the most common one for the people who are taking the ARVs, it is lipodystrophy. Lipodystrophy is there is a mechanism. This drug interferes with the synthesis and lipolysis of your body. That is mambo na kufanya mafuta ya mwili, lipid, sindio? So inatoanga hii mafuta ya huku, adipose ya huku na scalp, then ina deposit wapi? Around the trunk. But the effect, I want to make it clear, effect sio lazima ikuwe kwa kila mtu. Unaweza kuwa wewe hiyo dawa inakuletea hiyo effect, lakini kwa mwingine ako sawa. Sawa. So hapo ndio nataka viewers washike. So inatoa huku lakini ina deposit wapi? So unaweza patana na mtu trunk ni kubwa, but ukimwangalia huku uso amedhoofika sana. Sawa. Another thing, venye nimekwambia ina interfere na mambo ya metabolism ya lipid, inaweza fanya cholesterol level ipande. Ukipima maybe kuna cholesterol inaitwa total cholesterol, kuna ingine inaitwa low density lipoprotein, very low density, na high density. Sawa. Low density is a bad cholesterol, hiyo ukikuwa nayo ndio unaonanga mtu amenona sana ama inamsumbua sana. Alafu pia the triglyceride pia ikipita ile level inafaa, pia sio mzuri, unaona. So inatend kushikilia kwa mwili, ndio unasikia watu wakisema fulani alianzia dawa ndio maana amenona. Sijui kama ushaisikia issues kama hizo, ni juu ya hiyo effect ya ARV. But sio ARV inafulisha, ina interfere na metabolism ya lipid na nini zinakuwa deposited kwa mwili. Ukipatana na mtu ako sawa. But pia kuna njia ya kuhandle such matters. Of course we do advise them on exercise, a good diet na kitu kama hiyo. Na ikizindi kama hiyo ndio ulikuwa unampea ilikuwa na protease inhibitor, that's an enzyme. Unajaribu kutafuta ingine because there are variety, unatafuta ingine yenye haina hiyo enzyme atumie. The other one, maybe they can cause nausea. Mtu anaweza sikia kuvomit, vitu kama hizo. There are people who diarrhea. Unajua ina interfere na gastrointestinal system, the lining of the stomach ina interfere nayo in a certain way. That discomfort ina cause kuhara. So anakuwa anaendesha most of the time, na pia wengine wanasikia wakikunywa dawa inawalemea, wanakuwa na fatigue na vitu kama hizo. So those are the effects just to mention.
But now the alternative is maybe change drugs, si kuacha.
Una change. Unajua sasa hapa uko monitored. Ukienda kwa clinic kama uko on drugs, daktari atakuangalia, atakwambia ndio ufanywe lipid profile. Ukifanywa lipid profile ataona vyenye iko, angalia dawa unatumia akuchangie. Alafu just like any other drug, hizi madawa pia zinaweza cause your kidney iharibike. Si unajua za kidney ndio inasaidia kutoa waste na nini na chemicals na vitu kama hizo. Inaweza interfere with your kidney and with your liver, and at some point your pancreas. Now hapa ndio kuna shida. Iki interfere with your pancreas ndio ina produce insulin. So if you don't have insulin, na insulin ndio ina regulate the sugar level, you turn out to be non-diabetic. But on rare cases, hiyo sio sana. But inakuanga.
Let me ask you. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Does prolonged taking of ARV cause like growths on the skin?
Yes, sometimes they cause rashes.
Just rashes?
On some people,
Not anything like growth or anything?
No, it does not cause growth. But there are, if you don't take your drugs well, there are some skin conditions which are associated with maybe ile mambo tulikuwa tumesema ya opportunistic infection. Ukikosa kunywa dawa vizuri, maybe utapata bacteria yenye inakosingi skin ikae ni kama inafura ama ni kama inachomeka, vitu kama hizo. But if you take your drugs well, utakuwa sawa.
Okay.
Pia before tumalizie, ningependa pia to make it very clear to our audience. Wamekuwa wakisema sijui brand group fulani haipatangi HIV, sijui ingine inapata
sijui ni B.
Wanasema sijui B. So HIV ni ugonjwa yenye bado iko on research, but up to today there is no relationship between brand group and HIV. Pia nimesikia wengine wakisema huyu anakuanga carrier wa HIV. Ushaisikia hizo stories ati huyu ni carrier, sijui ana infect wengine lakini yeye haimuaffect. Remember kuna kitu inaitwa the window period, cause HIV kuna stage 1, kuna mwenye anaweza pata inamugonga mara moja na anaanza kupata maflu na nini, si ndio? Kuna ingine iko stage 2 yenye inakaa kama window period, and that period can prolong for a long time, na mwili yako pia inaweza kosa kufanya nini, kuproduce antibodies. Iko tu lakini your body maybe sijui ni kukua strong ama ni nini, is not producing the antibody against it, yani your window period is prolonged. Sawa. Now when you don't produce your antibodies, hizi strips unaonanga zenye most of them tunatumia the determine sijui nini, sina testing the antibodies, not the actual virus. So kama mwili yako uko na virus and produce antibodies, you get a false negative. Sawa. But when you go for other tests like the PCR, wenye wanaitangwa carrier, wakienda for PCR itaonyeshana ako na virus na iko kwa system ya. Sasa huwezi sema mtu ni carrier wa HIV na ako nayo. You are either HIV positive or HIV negative. For carriers tunaongea mambo ya genes na vitu kama hizo, but not HIV infection. Kuna kuwa na miezi mingi, mwingine anasema sitaki kwenda kupimwa juu huyu mtu akikunywa maybe Panadol itajificha. No, if you have the antibodies zimekuwa produced, tutainasa tu, tutaiona. Those are just myths. About the HIV.
What are other common myths zenye umesikia apart from hizo tumetaja?
Hiyo ingine yenye ningependa kuongea, okay, I'm a religious person, na sitaki niingililie watu wa kanisa. Pia mimi naamini Mungu, but pia kazi yetu ya hospitali, mapastors tuwaite tu watu wa kanisa wanatuangusha sana. Wanachukua wamama ama ndio ndio wanaingia sana kwa traps za kuombewa. Sijui ni kwa nini ndio utapata wanaanguka hapo, na sijasema ni vibaya uanguke tu njasho na roho ni sawa. But wanawashikanga wanawaambia tunaponya anti HIV, tunakuombea inaisha. Sawa. Huyo mwanadada anaekelea mkono, anaanguka chini, anafunikwa na leso, then anaambiwa go to the hospital and do the testing. Sawa. Sasa kuna daktari hapa alianzia na huyu patient maybe 10 years ago, amekuwa akimpea ARVs, zimerespond vizuri. The viral load imeenda chini kabisa, ilitoka below 200 ikaenda mpaka undetectable. Unaweza pimwa ikue undetectable. Now when you are that if you reach that level of undetectable, you are just like a normal person. Ni ile tu HIV imefinyiliwa mahali kwa kona, hata kujipindua ni ngumu. And then your body unajua sasa the way your body works is very funny. Itaona ni kama hiyo ugonjwa hakuna. Then what your body do, it will stop producing the antibodies against the HIV. So when you go for testing, ukikuja hapa uniambie miano si tupime HIV, tukipima tutapata iko negative. But remember this is a false negative. So Kenya ningependa kuongea na the pastors, pia me I believe in miracles, but you clarify, ukiomba maombi na imefanya kazi na umeona maombi imefanya kazi, just clarify to your follower ama ni kondoo. Umwambie asiende kufanywa za strip, aende tu mahali hata kama ni Kemuri ama hospitali kubwa afanywe PCR, specifically PCR. Hiyo ndio ina detect the actual virus kama iko. Kama hawezi assess, akienda kwa health provider wake amwambie mimi nilipona na nataka kufanya PCR, atampea mwelekeo. And some of those tests are free in the maybe referral hospitals. Unafanywa kama PCR itasema ni negative, pia mimi nasema amen. Na tunaamini huyo pasta tunamtumia watu wetu wanaombea. Unajua kuna mtu anafurahia mwingine akuwa mgonjwa. Also maybe before I talk about the other maids, because sikumbuki wote, some of our clients wanapitianga mambo mingi, stigma, community inawaingilia sana, inaona ni kama huyu mtu alikuwa mbaya. But you know HIV you can construct through so many ways. Kuna mtu, actually I have a friend mwenye maybe alikuwa in an accident, wakaanguka, then best yake aligongwa sana na ajui yeye ni positive. So unaweza achilia best yako tu hivyo. Utamshikilia, mtaenda hospitali na vitu kama hizo, utakuwa in contact na damu yake, na wewe of course umewarwa. Then virus moja tu ikingain entry, unajua you don't need 5 virus to be HIV positive. You just need one, iingie kwa system, replicate, itengeneze millions and you become HIV positive. So ukiona maybe your family member ama your neighbor or somebody is HIV positive, sio vizuri kushinda ukimuongezea stigma na kumuogopa sana. Hapo pia the society inakosea sana. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And as we finalize this topic, ningependa pia kuongea na wanadada maybe wenye wako college, na wenye pia nasikia wanasema wanapenda wambamba, sijui vitu kama hizo. Wamesikia kuko na PrEP na sasa hawashtuki. Sawa. Mwingine anaendanga na mtu hata anajua status yake, hataki kutumia infection, ndio kama ni rent ilipwe vizuri, si ndio maneno inaenda huko Kanairo. Rent ilipwe poa, vitu kama hizo. Alafu tena unakimbia kwa hospitali, unaenda unadanganywa, although pia tutakusaidia but tunajua ni uongo, sijui condom basi, sijui rape nini, vitu kama hizo. Hii kitu si 100%. Inaweza work, inaweza kosa kuwork. Sasa swali ni ikikosa kuwork, sasa utaishi kumblame nani? Hiyo pesa ya rent maybe ni 12,000 ama ni 15, and then all of your life you start taking the drugs, unaona ni mbaya. So we take care. Another thing, the PrEP cannot protect yourself from other infection, maybe against the human papilloma virus, the syphilis, the gonorrhea, just to talk about a few. Yeah.
So basically
unasema mtu akule jasho yake.
Sawa.
Yeah.
We have come to the end of the first topic of the week, and I hope that you have learned a few things about HIV as well as demystified some myths. Next week, we shall be talking about the STIs and importance of taking tests before you get into a marriage. Until then, be safe and make good choices.